Lots of Terran versus Zerg today, though. Actually, all the Protoss players are in hiding today. No hero, no stats, no zest, no trap today, no creator. Protoss players are just not here. Maybe Mario has them all locked away, practicing with them, apart from Zest, obviously. Zest is obviously locked away, practicing for GSL finals. Guys, let's do this. To the top right-hand side, our red Zerg player is Dark. And in this best of 5, he is most definitely going to be my favorite, my pick to take it down. He's up against the bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player, Ryung. Game number 1 of the series. As we get ourselves into this first game. A lot of banning going on in the chat. Well, a lot of timeouts, not bans, just people saying stupid things, being disrespectful to players. Just making sure we're not encouraging people to not making sure people don't think they can get away with that sort of stupidness. Which they can't. I do want to hear who you're cheering for, guys. I mean, I know Dark's the favourite. I know he's definitely going to be the fan favourite as well, I think. But Ryung's got to have a few fans out in the chat. Is anyone interested to see if Ryung can take this? That would be, that'd be pretty cool. If he could, if he could make a bit of an upset. It would be an upset, honestly, if Ryung was to take... I don't even know if Ryung... Can he take a map against Dark in this? I don't know. It's online, so yeah, I reckon he could take a map, but... I'd be surprised if Ryung could even push it to 5 games. I think it's tough. I think it's just a tough matchup for him. Dark's playing pretty well lately, and he's just looking to pick up another win here in the Kung Fu Cup weeklies. This is our 10th Kung Fu Cup weekly now, guys, if you weren't aware. And in that time, Dark has made his fair share of appearances in the finals of these events. He's just won the one. And he won that in weekly number 7. It was weekly number 5 where he actually got into the finals last time as well, and he got 2nd place there to Rogue. Ironically, it was actually Rogue who he beat the second time around. And Dark looking for his 2nd win of the Kung Fu Cup weeklies here with this with these games today. He would be joining Innovation, Rogue, and Zest on players who have won 2 of these events. And then we would have had still only 6 different players to win these events over 10 tournaments. In and out a little bit. Queen's just having a little bit of a poke there. Ling speed. Very slow here from Dark, actually, that Ling speed. Look at that. It's going to finish way beyond 330, which is the regular timing. So nice fast fed hatchery. Later Ling speed. Dark just opening with the... yeah, just kind of saving that bit and waiting a while before committing into it, it seems. Innovation is indeed out, unfortunately. He's done for the day. Innovation will be in our WardiTV Invitational number 4 playoffs, though. He did advance through his group in 1st place, so excited to see him play in that. We just need to find a date for that, though. SCV is going to come forwards and throw down a couple of depots. Sort of rude to say people are saying stupid things. It's not rude. People are calling players idiots or useless or whatever. It is not in any way, shape or form rude for me to say that they're saying something that's stupid and it's going to get them timed out. It's a stupid thing to say because A, it's not true. B, it's going to get you timed out. C, no one cares. So, I don't really see how it's rude to call them stupid. If they want to be idiots, they can get called out for it. Engineering base coming down here from Ryung. He's playing the 2-1-1 build. Again, this looks like Mario's variant, which has been very popular as of late. We'll see if he can make something work with this. As well, obviously the first phase of this 2-1-1 is going to be this drop, which should be ready to go. Where's the Medivacs? There we go. He's leaving some Marines behind, making sure he's actually got a little bit of a defense here. 2 Medivacs will try and catch those. Ling is unable to at the moment, though. Just going to try and still move them around as Dark is dancing with his Zerglings in front of those Marines at the moment. Now Ryung will start to push across the map a bit more committed. Right now, you're really looking to try and clean out the creep spread. I really think the important part of this, if you're going to go for the siege tank follow-up attack, is to really clean out the creep spread on the right-hand side in front of the third base. If you push back the creep over here, and you are able to get your tank sieged up behind these rocks, it is going to make your life absolutely incredibly awesome. Because you're going to be able to push on in, you're going to be able to do so much with the siege tanks in a nice safe position. It's going to be wonderful. So that's definitely going to be, I think, Ryung's goal here, but so far, unsuccessful. Roach is in position. Means that they might just have to go for some creep elsewhere. And while you go for creep elsewhere, you know, maybe that's your chance to pull roaches out of location to get something done in the location, which maybe will be more important for your later attack, as we will see a couple of active creatures go down. Nice, gets that one as well. Alright, we're still actually just getting into position up here, so that's a cancel. Again, just slows Dark's creep down, and that's exactly what this initial drop is designed to do. Meanwhile, there was a fourth barrack starting up. No, sorry, that's just the third barracks. I'm so silly. Can't count. Third racks came on up here, and as the armory comes into play, 2-2 will start. That's something we usually see with this build, because it goes on for a little while. That 2-2 actually usually does come into play and have effect. This guy coming down, and a couple of creep teamers being picked away up right now, so a couple of creep teamers going down. And as Ryung unloads off to the side now, we will see his first wave of siege tank based attacks getting ready to go. Now he's got combat shields, now he's going to have +1/+1 as well, as we are going to be seeing those marines and a couple of medevacs just going to be continuing to come in towards the upper right side. One creep teamer getting picked off already. Tank siege. And as you see, the roaches and routers just going to be pushing forwards. Tank's going to be unsieging here, and Tachi Ryung is looking to set up a drop. Slowing the creep down on this top side maybe means he can get into the main base, or maybe he just unloads up here and stims onto the fourth. Stops that from being established right here. Ryung just saving up, getting ready for next attacks. He is building a third base in the end here though, so while this is very aggressive from him at the moment, it will be turned into some lesser aggression over time. Again, looking for this fourth base right now. And yes, if he gets that, you know, it's a nice pick off right. It slows the Zerg player down while he still sets up himself into the next stages of this. Tank siege on the south side, and well, a roach going to be leading the charge. And whoa, the first roach actually tanks this pretty well, so now we're going to be seeing these roaches and ravens continuing forwards. These siege tanks are going to be in some trouble. He actually just still clean out quite a few of the roaches, but I think he was definitely looking for a little bit more in total. Marines will stim their way in towards the natural expansion here, but there's so many roaches of Dark coming out from that main base and natural. These Marines are going to have to lift up, and they're going to boost themselves now in towards the main. Or just stop on the fourth base again, going to try and keep this denied. If nothing else, Dark is really struggling to take a fourth base in this game. The issue is, I think, in a moment, Dark's just going to be like, okay, well, you know, deny me fourth base all you want. What are you going to do if I actually attack you, though? So it's 40 army supply ahead in this right now, and that could be not so bad. Medevacs do make their way back home. Again, more creep being pushed out onto the map here, and Baneliness and an infestation pit coming down, so Dark looking towards his next stages. Looking as though he definitely wants to introduce some Baneliness to his composition at the very least, as well as the infestation pit obviously can look to get quite a bit done in terms of producing his tech. With Hive coming up. Hive into Vipers. Maybe a couple of Infestors do get made. Obviously really not looking towards Swarmhost when playing against Bio. If we see some Dark versus Mech games, then I'd be, you know, maybe we'll see some Swarmhosts there, but for now it is just the Infestors actually, not even a Hive. Not even thinking about the potential of what Vipers could do to this, just going to get the Infestors, and that's going to make these well, it's going to make these Marines have to be a little bit cautious with where they run. Be very cautious of where those fungal growths are going to end up being placed. Some Marines coming in towards the upper right hand side. These two medevacs of Ryung coming around the top as well. 11 Banes currently on the way out. They're going to be finishing very soon, and we are going to be seeing Dark just pushing down to the south side. Ryung pulling away just a little bit. Two medevacs up to the top side are going to start unloading. Still hasn't found a chance to drop in once again, and Dark keeping himself in control of this for the moment. I like this, by the way, just a burrowed roach here and there. It's going to help him keep control of the map, keep some map vision. It's not going to give him a huge radius, but it does kind of watch certain pathways. Gives a good idea as to where Ryung might be moving around. This Baneling picked off. Roach at the front, taking some damage as well. Bane's again set up and ready to go here as tanks sieging up once again. Bio going to push forwards, and we do see Queens, Roaches, Ravagers, Banes. I'm going to start running on in right now. We're going to see the Marines going to stim. Actually, it's fungal growths from the back. Oh dear. Oh dear. Those infestors caught me off guard, and those fungal growths are pretty huge. Honestly, it was looking pretty good for Dark anyways, but the fungals really helped to seal the deal here in terms of pushing that away with confidence. And Dark has got to be feeling pretty great about this at the moment. I mean, this is starting to go pretty well for him. I mean, the entire game has gone pretty well for him. Yeah, he lost his 4th base a few times over, but you know, every fight's gone well. Otherwise, he hasn't really taken massive damage. Hive is now up, so he can go into the Ultra's Cavern. He's already started that Carapace upgrade, which is obviously going to help a lot as well. Bio gathers together, going to push towards the upper right-hand side. Again, these burrowed roaches just going to see where this army is now and again. Just able to keep track of things, and obviously the burrowed infestors already showed their value here once in this game. We'll see if they find another opportunity to get some big fungals once more. Pushing in, we're going to see Lings and Banes coming down the ramp, chasing that Bio away. And the main base, we do see the Liberator sieging up, and a couple of Queens able to pick up that kill. So Queen's able to get the kill. More Banelings on the way out here to the bottom right-hand side. And again, the Bioforce of Ryung is coming around the top. And, well, Ling, Bane, Ravager. With Roaches involved too. Going to try and come down this ramp and get going. Big Fungal Growth lands. Marines and Marauders getting picked away at. And we are going to be seeing more Marines and Marauders jumping into Medivacs here. Just going to be seeing the +1 melee upgrade right now from Dark on the way out. The 3rd Carapace upgrade from Dark also coming through here. Another few Banelings coming into the top side. And we're just going to be seeing the Roaches of Dark going to be coming down towards the bottom right as well. So, just moving around the place. This is the sort of stage at which Ryung has to look at it and be like, well, what do I do now? I mean, maybe he just sits back and starts building up in towards, you know, the late game already, because even when you're a bit behind his terrain, if you start to build late game, sometimes you can just about hold on and defend and get to that point where suddenly, you know, every fight can be a lot more efficient for you and you can come back in the game. Problem is, being out on the map like this is not doing Ryung any favors at the moment, as we do see, well, popping up infestors. It's 2 in a row that have just landed some pretty good fungals and slowed down progress of Ryung in this first game. There's Ziglan getting picked off right there. More Roaches of Dark arriving down to the south side. Planetary Fortress probably take a few hits right now, and actually going to see some SCVs currently being targeted down as well. So SCVs taking some hits. Bio units coming in to keep on chasing this. And we're actually going to be seeing all of those Roaches getting picked away at now. All of those Roaches disappearing. There's Sim 4 is trying to catch a few more Banes. Not quite able to just yet though. Well, he will maybe get 1 or 2 of them. So these fungal growths, it's actually impressive because I feel like Dark hasn't missed a single fungal growth so far. And now we're going to be seeing Vipers coming out as well. Again, Dark just seems to be a step ahead, right? I mean, Vipers are ready to go. Blinding Clouds come down. He's still got a full energy Viper as well. 1 tank in the front, not even cared about. As we see Banes crashing on into this entire army. Actually a little bit messy from Dark. He maybe could have done that a bit better. He had a lot of units down to the south side that weren't doing much, and now Infestors are starting to be figured out over here. Well, let's see, there's 1 Infestor still in this army. It's burrowed in the back, running on through at the moment. Dark himself is just sort of setting up these Ravagers and Lings. Comes forward, so we'll go for one of them, you know, pick off on a Marine or Marauder. 6 more Ultras currently on the way out. Dark still just setting up into these here. Fire units once again going to stim and chase down a few more of these Marines, Ravagers. Is Ryung breaking through? I mean, he's making some good progress while Dark isn't quite able to get Banes up, but the Ultras are about to pop, and I think as the Ultras pop, this becomes a much different scenario. He doesn't have kindness playing though, so the Ultras will not be unbeatable. It's just they're going to be still tough to push back properly. Ryung still keeping up the pressure here. Put Dark Dak down to 4 bases, killing off this top side base. Transfusions coming through. The Queens don't have endless energy though, so those Ultras going to start dropping shortly if Ryung can find a few more shots, and he will start target fire. Those Ultra goes down, and now Ryung is going to realize that he can maybe kill a few more of those, but the corrosive bars will ward him away. Lings are going to try and loop around for reinforcements. They'll grab a couple of Marines there. No, they back away, realizing there's too many units coming in from the northern side, and there wasn't enough of them to really capitalize on, as Dark has had a tough few moments. He's been struggling to survive while switching into Ultras, and that's really going to be amplified by the fact that now he still doesn't have Chitinous playing, and without Chitinous playing, he is in some trouble, because suddenly the Terran player can really trade here. He can really take some fights, and he can really pick his way through those Ultras, which you shouldn't really be able to do at this stage when you don't really have Ghosts or Liberators or anything along those lines. Ryung has taken all of this as an opportunity to get his own 4th base established. His own 5th base will be coming down very shortly here as well, of course. As that 5th of Dark is already long distance mining once again. Wants to get the drones doing something useful as ASAP. Single circling here. Moving around, coming back down to the bottom right, and well, Liberator production has begun. He needs something to deal with the Ultras. I'm just very surprised we don't see a Ghost Academy and some production of Ghosts starting up, because that is obviously the very typical late game that we're used to seeing. And against Ultras especially, I think the Ghosts work just fine. The Liberators are great support units, but the Ghosts really do come through, and they really do clean up and get the job done. Thank you very much, Dank Shrine, by the way, coming in with that 10-month resub, saving esports 1 month at a time. Love you, Wardy. What's up, Toast? How's it going? Thank you so much for the 10 months. Appreciate it. Give you some love in the chat, please, guys, for Toast. And Dank Shrine. As we will see a couple of Zerglings going down on each side of this army. The next big play from Dark is being set up right now. Parasitic Bomb hits a lot of those Medivacs. Blinding Cloud is obviously causing some issues too. The Medivacs have to kite away and split. Dark is going to find himself having a pretty good time, because it means that Ryung has been distracted. And while Ryung was distracted, well, these Ultras have just moved on forwards again. No Chitinous, so they're still going down pretty quickly. At some point, surely Ryung has to realize, or Dark has to realize, like, oh my god, no wonder my Ultras are dying so quick, right? Like, they shouldn't be taking this much damage. I know the Marauder's got a bit of a buff, but still, this is, you know, kind of ridiculous here. Queen's transfusing those Ultras as well, gets rid of that last Liberator. If Ultras had Chitinous, this game ends right here. Because they don't, he's actually going to end up losing them, and then the Queens, and Ryung will still stay alive in this, so still alive and kicking. Ryung, so takes down another Ultra, will retake that left-hand side base. That never went down, he just wasn't allowed to morph up into a planetary or anything. And that could be his opportunity now, as Infested Terrans on the way to try and clean up this Liberator, which is counter-attacking at the same time here. Ryung trails by 20 workers. Dark with an army supply lead as well. He just needs to realize that he doesn't have Chitinous. He even has an Ultra Cap, and he's building another one. Not too sure why, honestly. Infested's coming forwards. Obviously, Fungal Growth combined with the Ultras can be pretty deadly. It allows those Ultras to really connect, and with the Medivacs already low on health, the Parasitic bombing those is really potential to shut things down. A Liberator comes in. I'm not sure what they can do. Viper's actually got shot down pretty quickly there. It's pretty good target fire, and the Fungal Growths are very late to the party, and again, these Ultras are going to disappear. They're just not enough here at the moment. They're just not enough here right now, as we're going to be seeing more Libs on the way out. Again, I'm still somewhat surprised Ryung isn't trying to build up into Ghost. I know he's under a lot of pressure. I know for now he's dealing with the Ultras okay, but it's only because Dark is forgetting Chitinous playing. And that Chitinous playing, that ends, you know, that at some point it could end any moment, and that's what I don't think Ryung is thinking of. I don't think Ryung is thinking of the stage of this where Chitinous playing is in play. Then what does he do against Ultras? Again, I guess he does have the Liberators. I guess for now there's no Corruptors, so I guess it will do the job. I just think overall, once you get into those Ghosts, you're in such a great position. But again, the issue is getting towards those Ghosts, and maybe Ryung just feels as though he doesn't have the time, maybe he feels as though he doesn't have the money. Maybe he feels as though he has to put everything he can into Liberators and Bio, because that's going to produce right now and quickly, and it's going to be able to hold him off, hold Dark off, and keep Ryung alive as long as possible. Pussy ship weapons starting up from Ryung. Still powering up these Liberators here. Sign up a few of these units. Sign up a few of these Libs. Now you just have a moment or two to sit calm before the storm, of course, because these guys are just going to take a moment or two before committing in once again. A few Banelings will start to morph towards this upper left-hand side. 12 more Lings on the way out. 4 Banelings about halfway done. 5 more Banelings added onto that. Quick maths makes that 9. It is crazy because, again, I think Kindness playing. Dark's won this game multiple fights over. Without Kindness, Dark's lead has been withered away quite significantly. From the Zerg army back and forth, top left base is being taken. We have had again now a couple of minutes of calm, and both players are going to max out. So obviously Ryung wanted to max out, Dark wanted to max out, and Dark's been able to build a bit of a bank up as well, so he's ready to reproduce even. Ryung coming in towards the top side of the map. We'll have to think about this methodically. Taking down top left base initially would make a lot of sense. There's a lot of drones there too. So Dark is going to be losing a lot of those, and he started on 77. He'll end on 73 for the moment, with 9 more hidden burrowed away in the corner. Ultra counter-attack though, and they already find themselves a planted fortress. Now some SCVs going down as well. Still no answer to the Liberator though, and as soon as the Liberator sieges up, these Ultras are absolutely terrified. They're out of there. They ain't committing in. They ain't taking a fight. No way. They have absolutely no interest in that, so they're out of there. As we're going to be seeing another couple of Zerglings being picked away at. Still Marines and Marauders gathering together, and you still see a couple of these Ultras gathering themselves up as well. Marauder gets taken down. Swiped away at here. Bio pushing forwards. Liberator gets no ducked. Never Liberator sieges from the side here. Corruptors come in, they get the kill. I mean, Ryung, he's still holding this position, but he has to start dealing with these Corruptors now, because these Corruptors are working their way through the Liberators. As the Liberators go down, this becomes an issue, because then the Ultras, there really isn't an answer to them. Well, maybe Marauders still, because there's still no Kindness playing. Get Kindness playing, goddammit. Please, please, one upgrade. One upgrade that would have, again, changed this game so many times over already. Banes crash on through. This is the commitment here. The Corruptors will get rid of more libs in the sky. Dark will back away and wait for reinforcements. Ghost finally on the way up here from Ryung as, well, he once again chases Ultras off to the right side. Man, I just don't understand sometimes how these guys can look at the Ultras for 10 plus minutes and just not get Kindness. You know, when you watch your Ultras die with free upgrades to Marauders and Marines, I mean, I know Marauders again are, you know, doing better now, but they still shouldn't be killing Ultras that fast, right? It's absolutely crazy. The snipe comes down. Not sure actually what it hit on, just an Ultra, I think. A couple of Ghosts now starting to be mixed into this here. Again, the Corruptors find an opportunity to get rid of another Liberator. Medevac's going down too. Banes find themselves a lot of the bio units, and suddenly Dark has pressured his way through this. And I think he's going to find absolutely everything he needed to as he gets rid of every single one of these libs. Now he's just going to roll on in with Lingbane reinforcements. Marauders are going to be surrounded. Ghosts are surrounded. And Dark is chasing through to end this game number 1 of the best of 5 grand final here today in the Kung Fu Cup Weekly number 10. A couple of Burrowed Banes just sat here waiting to strike, and that could be it. Dark not paying attention. A shame. A missed opportunity. Maybe now. Marines go down. That's a big clump considering how low the supply of Ryung already is. And Dark is actually going to win this game number 1 without Kindness playing. Just going to be seeing the army of Dark now going to regather once again. He's going to be able to get top left and bottom right bases established because, again, he's going to be left alone for a moment or two. Ryung is not going to be able to pressure him for the next few moments here, so going to be left alone for a moment or so now. And so finally Dark's going to get that economy rolling for himself once again. A few more Banelings getting set up. A lot more Zerglings on the way out currently as well. And he's going to run by bottom side, and this base was denied earlier by some Ultras. And that's one of the issues Ryung has had, that these few Ultra run-bys, even though we haven't seen a lot of them, the few that have been around have done a lot. They've been extremely successful. And their successes have slowed down the economy of Ryung. And they've put him to a point where he just can't hold on anymore. Ryung is going to run on in from the right-hand side here, going for a bit more damage. Corruptors come through for 1-2 medevac kills. And well, as he runs in towards the natural expansion, Dark has too much here in game 1. He will close this out with a 25-minute game. Took a while, and again, it's going to be over 10-15 minutes earlier. Just yeah, just just not having a good day. I didn't sleep very well last night. I'm very tired, and I think it's definitely showing a little bit in the casting. So do apologize. What's up, Rollgren78? Thank you so much for the sub. Welcome back to the WardiTV family. I know you've been subscribed before. Do you appreciate it? Thank you so much for the subscription coming through. Let's kick off into the second game then, as we do have already a few lings coming across the map to make this aggressive out of Dark. To the bottom right-hand side, it is Ryung, our blue Terran player. He's playing against Dark, the red Zerg in the upper left. Dark, gas pool hatch, pool hatch gas, sorry. As 6 lings arrive. And obviously this is a lot of pressure. And right now the Reaper's on the wrong side of the map, and he's looking ideally for the cancel on the CC. That would be the most incredible thing to get here, because that would really make things a bit of an issue as more SCVs go to pull down to the low ground. SCVs do, of course, fight this to keep the command center alive, but this is already looking towards a second SCV kill already. As he comes up the high ground, gets 2, and he will look for the third. As he goes all the way in towards the mineral line, it will be repaired, though. That SCV kept alive. So 2 SCVs killed here, command center slowed but not killed. Ryung holds on, kind of as he had to there. There's Dark. No kind of aggressive follow-up though, not looking towards the roach attack follow-up as we saw earlier against Innovation or so. Just going to be opening towards the third hatchery and getting ready to macro it out for the moment here on Catalyst. So we're going to see that third hatch coming in towards the top, and obviously a couple of creep teamers starting to push out into the map factory. Dropping down as well in the main base, so it's actually this setup here from Ryung, the 2-1-1. And it's the same as he went for in that last game. He actually opened with that 2-1-1, remember, and he applied a lot of pressure, but I don't think any of the pressure really kind of, had many results, honestly. Dark swatted away pretty much every single attempt to drop and for Medivacs to come in time and time again. And eventually he kind of got to this point where, Ryung actually suddenly had a big push, and he actually did pretty well in the fight because Dark messed up the engagement a little bit, I feel. He lost to 5th base, and Ryung was in the game from that point on. And then Dark took some very good fights, but without kindness playing, made them look a lot worse than they made them turn out a lot worse than they should have been. And so Ryung for a long time was able to stick around on a composition that just isn't really viable against what Dark was doing. But it was able to work for so long because Dark just, again, didn't have that upgrade, and it made Dark's life so much more difficult. So intrigued to see where we go from here, and to see just what Ryung's kind of plan is to change things up. And if this time Dark remembers kindness playing, I'm extremely intrigued to see, well, if he has that, what on earth does Ryung do, and how much faster does he maybe go in towards Liberators and Ghosts, realizing that his bio just doesn't quite, cut the, come down to, can't think of the words. His bio doesn't quite make the cut against Ultras. First 2 engineering bays on the way, not too far behind the Evo chambers, means the upgrade should be fairly similarly timed. And it's good for the Zerg, because the last thing you want is to be having to play against the Terran who has a 1-1 timing advantage window or a 2-2 window, where they can attack and have that upgrade lead in the engagements. Team Medivacs coming to the top side of the map right now, but they're going to stop right here, just get rid of this Overlord to begin with. Dark brought close to the supply block from this, 83 out of 90. So he's not quite supply blocked, but he is going to be stopped from making too many more units. His Sling is already on the way out though, and he actually didn't start an Overlord yet, so it looks as though Dark will hit a supply block here very shortly. As we do see these 2 Medivacs unloading now. Getting ready to start doing again what they did in the last game, cleaning up some of this creep spread, trying to push it back. Trying to open up the map for the tank push as a follow-up here. This map is also very powerful for the tank push. You can drop tanks down here and use them behind the rocks to then push up here. You can use the same sort of thing down here, siege up the tanks, push up the ramp for the Marines. Becomes very, very difficult for the Zerg player to deal with. Last game it was 5 racks initially from Ryung, currently going up to the 3. 5 racks then into the 3rd CC, and again so far, this looks to be just exactly the same as he will go for a few creep tumors. He's left his Reaper on that creep tumor in the front, we'll get that as well. Medivacs are here to kind of lift up and get rid of those Marines, as the Queens of course start to chase them away. Those Marines do not want to stick around. Combat shields kicking in shortly as well, so again those upgrades keep coming through. A new scan gets rid of some of the replaced creep, but the thing is there's still energy on the Queens, so it just gets replaced yet again. But it's still taking away some of that energy, which means less transfusions a little bit later on. This time he actually is able to grab a creep tumor without scanning, so again, No, he's wasted about 100, 150 energy so far with this. Not bad. Definitely some positives there for Ryung. Let's see how this next attack does though. 3 tanks, more marines. Next medevac has just finished up as well, so here you go. This is really the big one, as we do see a lot of Lings looking for the run by though. Some marines nearby and close enough actually to turn those Lings away, apart from the fact that then 2 of them go out on their own trying to fight that. Dark trying to buy time. He does not want his opponent to commit across the map just yet, so he's going to try and force Ryung to turn around, but now there's marines behind the wall off. Ryung is going to be looking fairly confident. This time the 3rd command center comes up that little bit faster. No 4th and 5th racks yet. Straight into the 3rd CC, so a little bit less aggressive, but still looking to achieve something with these marines and tanks. Does not want to let the tanks start attacking marines, Lings from a distance, and letting those get surrounded and picked off too early, because that would of course be a little bit of a shame as well. Lings come in, they get another surround on a marine right there. Tank sieging up once more. Lings still backing away down the left-hand side. T2 upgrades from both players are going to be seeing the T2. All is out just slightly ahead. He has some extra Banes finishing up. Bane speed's now here as well, and for a moment it looked as though Dark wanted to jump on that. Those rocks have been taken down, and now you can see those tanks getting ready to push into position. Siege up. They're not actually going to siege for the rocks, they're going to siege for the main base. Sending some marines up here, but the Queens are actually in the main. Good prediction from Dark, knowing this left-hand side is abusable for the main Bane base droppers. Here we go, Ling Bane runs in. So far splitting the units up quite nicely to minimize damage from the siege tanks. And this is going to be a full cleanup here from Dark. And Ryung has to lift up that 1 medevac of units that is still available. Well, I mean 1 medevac units, he lifts up 3 marines. Makes it about half a medevac of units. That's all he evacuates from here, plus 2 more empty medevacs. Dark immediately getting ready for a counter-attack. Now there is already units in position, there is tanks set up as well. Dark dove pretty far forwards there because the tanks were still sieging, so that's a bit of a shame. Banes will break down this wall though, and he will get access to the main and natural. He will look for some more SCV kills here. Main base actually going to be denied access with the depots raising, but he will just go into the natural and grab some lower health SCVs that come off of that run by. Dark still comes out about 20 drones ahead, still sitting good in terms of economy. As we will see the 2 medevacs going to be coming along the right-hand side to see what's going on. Getting ready to unload into the upper right-hand side of the map. 2 upgrades will be finishing very soon. We have a few Banes coming up here. Groove Spine's about to finish as well from the Hydralisks. And Marines unloading, and we are going to be seeing just a load up and a back away, and somehow he gets out of there alive. Good thing there was no creep, of course, because otherwise the Hydras might have just gone that little bit further forwards. Hydras didn't even have Groove Spines, that might have made the difference as well. Get 1 more attack in. That was a very close situation. This medevac boosts away off over to the left. Marines also on the left hand side going to load up into these medevacs, getting ready to go towards the main base. But again, I mean, Overlords are seeing all of this, and now the Hydras do grab themselves a medevac kill. Not quite enough group spread to get them all the way to the right, and also lacking the Hydra speed. Not quite able to capitalize on the second medevac just yet, but he does pick off this drop to the left-hand side. Great positioning of units here from Dark, able to position his units to the left, to the right. Puts them in a great little position as we do see these Hydras and Banes from Dark coming out down towards the south side. Rock's going to get Brock knocked down. At least something here from Ryung works out. I mean, the Ling's not able to move on through. Final set of upgrades already on the way from the Terran, of course. Azure can't get there until Hive Tech's done, so he's going to be slowed down in that regard. Surprised we've not seen any missile upgrades for the Hydras in the meantime. Stark has Burrower once again. Those burrowed Banelings, of course, always a threat, always an issue. You only miss 1 scan and all of a sudden you lose a bunch of Marines, and you can see what... in a way, I kind of feel like Dark might be trying to bait him on towards those burrowed Banes. We'll see what he can get up to. Marines, Medevac still gathering together, as you do see a little bit more Lingbane Hydra to the right-hand side as well. Plus 2 vehicle weapons on the way on the armory, and we are going to be seeing the 4th command center will allow Ryung to keep his own economy rolling. Probably just take this in the central base, of course. As a Terran, this base becomes very easy to defend. It naturally defends your access into your natural and your 3rd. The right-hand side here is obviously still a bit open, but you can pull back here very easily. And the left-hand side, if attack comes this way, you can either flank it, or you can also just come around and defend it from this side too. So, it is just the better base to take rather than expanding yourself all the way over here, in which case you have to worry about this pathway all of a sudden. Over here, which gives up this pathway, this pathway. There's so many more, locations you have to think about. Whereas this base, you just sit in the center and everything is all good. This is the 4th base, it's great to take. Sunstar being thrown down the center. 15 Banes on the way up as an Ultra's Cavern drops as well from Dark. This time, we're just kind of praying that he remembers Kindness playing, because last time he didn't. And the lack of Kindness, I really do feel, nearly cost him the game. Before we even get to Ultras though, because this first attack comes through, and already a lot of Banes going in. That mineral line's in some trouble. Hydras in the back. Remember, they don't have missile upgrades, so their damage output isn't amazing. So once the Ling Bane disappears, he actually does have to back away from those Hydras. Rebuilt 112 Zerglings. Dark has had one hell of a bank, as you're all going to be seeing. I mean, 56 Lingers, that's a lot of money. 56 pairs of Zerglings, that's a lot of money spent right there. Dark had money to spend, and he's got the gas to morph them into Banes as well if he would like. Maybe not all of them. Or maybe most of them. 72 Banelings on the way. Make that 78 Banelings on the way. Dark, he just got the Ultra Cavern. He says, who cares about Ultralisks? I've got 80 Banelings. And you know what he can't do? He can't kill all 80 Banelings, surely. Well, we're about to find out as Dark's army looks absolutely terrifying. Already moving forward. He's going to send a few Banes, yeah, around this right-hand side to get a little bit of a flank going in. Right now, these Banelings are literally soloing the Terran army. The Hydras are going to show up in the end. Oh, that last group of Banes over here actually wasn't super effective in the end, though. GG from Ryung. He knows it's over. Dark takes game 2, and he's going to our next game. It's Ryung Dark game 3. And let's jump into this one on Acid Plant. To the bottom right-hand side, it is our red Zerg player, Dark. Our blue Terran player is Ryung. Just as a heads up, guys, if you want to side with some trolls that were physically threatening other viewers, you're going to get timed out instantly. It's not even a question. So, just as a heads up, because I get the feeling someone's about to ask me why they just got timed out. So, I don't know what's up with you guys today. The trolls have really turned it up to like another level. Well, not with you guys, but with some of these guys. The trolls have really turned up to another level. Otherwise, chat's been pretty awesome. Thanks so much, guys, for of course joining and taking part in the chat. It's always nice to see chat being active. The last few days we've been casting, chat's been like dead. I've been casting and people have just been like, so what's up, guys? There's like 800 of you in here. How's everyone doing? One person like responds with like an exclamation mark bracket to see this bracket. I'm like, cool. We just have 800 people. Just none of them want to talk to me. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Alright. Where are the mods at? I know. My mods have just gone on holiday, apparently. I take some time off streaming and suddenly my mods just aren't around either. I don't know. Mods have just disappeared. Why isn't Zombie a mod? I'm scared. If I give Zombie a mod in my chat, she's gonna just go power crazy. I don't know. Just because I never thought to mod Zombie Grub. Loads of people aren't modded in my chat. Zombie Grub can have mod if she wants. Now I have to tab out to give her mod, and that's gonna take away game sounds and ugh. Maybe Zombie Grub doesn't want mod, you know? Some people don't like being mods ever. I actually, that's one of the things. People mod me all over the place in like different channels. Just because they're like, oh, Wardy, you can have mod. But sometimes having mod really isn't a great thing, you know? It really isn't a great thing, because then you have to actually, like, you know, people ask you to untime them out. They ask you why they got timed out, and I'm like, I've got no idea, mate. I'm not watching. I'm just chilling, you know? Some people don't want mod, you know? It's not a big thing. Factory going to drop down onto the reactor. Barracks going to move just down south as well. Starport going to be on its way up. Tech Lab building on the barracks, and just going to be seeing the orbital coming up on the natural expansion marine. Yeah, looking to see if an overlord's poking around as the river comes across the map. Early game was fairly tame, fairly intriguing compared to the previous games where we have had a couple of Lings coming across and applying some pressure, getting some kills and so on. Just gonna have a couple of Hellions in the Reaper just gathering together in the upper left-hand side. Banshee on the way up right now for Ryung, and we are going to be seeing the couple more Hellions just coming along to see what's going on, seeing what's happening. Lair on the way up in the main base from Dark as well, seeing what's going down for him. I mean, it's a fairly fast Lair, maybe in towards a fairly quick Hydralisk den at the moment. Kind of feels like maybe a Nidus actually with the Rotron coming up. It's like it's almost like it's such a fast Lair. It's like almost like a PvZ build, ZvP build. Intrigued to see how this goes. We do see this one Marine. A couple of Marines is going to work their way through this Overlord. I'm going to be killing this off. Ah! No. Oh my god, this Overlord. Come on. Oh, come on. This Marine's so low. It's so low. It's going to go down. Hey. Overlord gets picked off. Nicely done. And we are just going to be seeing the couple of Hellions and the Reaper from Ryung. Just going to be moving around in the center. Ryung getting the Overlord kill. I'm so happy. I'm so happy as we are going to be seeing a couple more racks coming through. Honestly, again, it's the first time that we're really seeing Ryung change things up as well. Oh, it's this build from Dark. He was actually doing this build a lot a couple of weeks ago in Kung Fu Cups. I actually kind of forgot about it a little bit. So, yeah, basically you pick up a couple of queens, you go across the map, and you get the lair simply for the Overlord drop. Numitai's Carapace is finished, so this makes a lot of sense now why the lair comes in. Now we're going to be seeing those Hellions coming in towards the upper left-hand side, going together. Ravja is getting morphed in. A couple of Banshees. Maybe a big part of this, but of course the Banshees are the reason the Queens are here, and the Queens should be able to take those Banshees on, but look at Ryung. He figured out what was going on. He's got bunkers set up. Okay, there's going to be a bit of a difficult breakthrough here for Dark. Let's see a little bit of Corrosive Bile in action, just trying to break through the front at the moment. SCV's pulled forwards already. Queens having a little bit of difficulty getting forwards onto those Banshees, but the creep spread is actually going to help quite a lot with that. There is Cloak, but no reason to really use that just yet because the Overseer is just sat around. Better to save the energy in case you get to counter-attack, and maybe then you can make better use of the Cloak. You know, that Orbital Command is in some trouble. It's actually going to die. Oh my god, Ryung just loses his third base. Well, this is already decent from Dark. Now the wall is down as well. Lings are obviously going to become a lot more potent at just breaking through here. And oh my god, a bunker as well. This is getting scary because you lose another bunker and suddenly these Lings run in and they get a full surround, and that's going to be kind of crazy. A few depots getting picked off here once more. Ryung is supply blocked. He can't make anything extra at the moment. He does have 2 Siege Tanks though. There's just so many Ravages that these bunkers are just disappearing, and Ryung isn't replacing them. He isn't trying to... Ryung isn't trying to rebuild these at all. Another set of Corrosive Biles. This time he loses a Ravager in the process of trying to kill that bunker. Not sure what Ryung is saying right here. There's Dark having a little bit of a giggle before they engage in some conversation, but 1-1 upgrade start from Ryung, so he feels safe enough. I mean, Evo Chamber's back at home from Dark. He's going to macro as well. Whoa.